Hi, I'm Greg. Tonight I want to tie a new pattern from Umpqua Feather Merchants called the Foldover. It's a pattern that I developed and was luckily picked up by Umpqua, and what it represents is a little mayfly emerger pattern. Very similar to an RS2, has an upright little wing, or I should say a wing case, so it gives the impression of the natural starting to hatch. So just fish it in the film, fish it deep underneath some weight, and enjoy it, and hope you have fun fishing it as much as I do. All right, so the Foldover, I'm going to put in a, this is a size 18 Tamco 101 hook, straight eye. This pattern is more of a little emerger pattern that kind of has a neat little piece at the end. But what I'm going to do, and the one I'm going to tie for you tonight is going to be a Pale Morning Dun version. So it's going to have a little bit different coloration for you. So first thing I'm going to do is kind of start my thread at about 60% point on this hook. So if that's right down the middle, there's 50%, so 60 is right about there. That started. Then we're going to add our wire. This is a extra fine copper wire. Just keep that nice and tight on the side of the hook, and I can do that just by tension with my left hand. I can place that right where I want it. I'm going to stop my thread right about where it's right above the barb of the hook. And then we're going to get some Coq de Leon that's been dyed a nice yellow. I'm going to grab quite a few of these tips here. Hold them by the tip again, grab the top of the stem. Everything pulls off nice so that most of these tips stay nice and even. Wet it if you want to control it. Now on this fly, the tail isn't going to be quite as long as the body of the fly, maybe about 70%. It's a little bit longer, kind of like what you do on your RS2s. Quite the length of the hook, but just fairly close to that. Crease my wraps, get a little tighter. Go right up to that tie-in point. Clip that off. Then I'm going to build in, since this is a nice long body, I'm going to build in a little bit of a carrot-shaped taper. Spin my thread counterclockwise again, just to kind of loosen that up so that it's not quite as ropey. Build up a nice little base of a taper. We're going to get our clear cure goo. This is the Hydro. You can either use a needle that these come with, or I actually like I can control it a little bit better by just putting what I want onto a real thin dubbing needle. And now I can go in here and be real precise where I want to put this. Let me just a pinch more. Side, I see a little bare thread. Now I can zap this. UV light does that so quickly. And then now I'm just going to rib my body. Tie that off. A couple wraps should do it. Helicopter this around. I'll come right off. Now I'm going to grab some flexi floss. I'm going to tie this in right on top. Once we catch this, going to go right up to the eye. Just want to make sure this is on top of the hook. Now we're going to get a little bit of dubbing, get a little wax onto my fingers. Okay, now that I got this loop, dubbing loop built up, I'm going to go in here and create a nice kind of a thick thorax. A lot of these bugs, right before they hatch, their thorax gets really exaggerated, nice and thick. It's almost like a little ball here. And I'll stop right there behind that. And then here comes the name of this fly. So what I do is I just fold this back over. I'm going to make two nice little wraps. And then at that point, all we need to do is whip finish this. Two turns on the whip finish should take care of it. Then what I like to do is, just so that the top of this thread doesn't show through as yellow, I just kind of give it a little dab of black with my little Sharpie. And then at this point, what we're going to, next step is going to get a little bit more clear cure goo. And I'm just going to coat the top of this wing case. Doesn't take a lot. As you notice, I'm coming up a little bit further backwards, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this up, and under tension I'm just going to hold it there, and then I'm going to zap it. And that sets that little wing case straight up, gives the appearance of a little wing bud starting to pop. And that there is the Foldover in a PMD color. The PMDs you can tie a little bit bigger to match your area. Back east, maybe a little bit bigger. Out here in the west, our PMDs are usually 14s are big, but usually 16s, 18s, where we're at, a little bit smaller as that hatch continues on. And then in the Betis color, which is the brown camel for the back section, for the abdomen of this fly, and then for the thorax I use a gray superfine dubbing. Everything else stays the same, and give these guys a shot. They've been very fishy for me. So enjoy.